All right, guys, what is going on? What is good? What is good? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to Market Maker Monday. And if you heard that alert go off a couple minutes ago, that was the AM session. Sorry. Well, yes, the AM session low, but more so the equities open low. So that has been taken for Nasdaq, and we have, let me try and get this out of the way, 20,126.75 is our current high of day, which is also low resistant high, so be mindful of that. I said that in the Discord already. And 20,080.5 seems to be some internal range liquidity at some relatively low resistant highs as well. So I know some of you are short, so just be careful. We made a new low of day, and if you're short and the market makes a new low of day, all right, you know, I'm not going to tell you to close altogether. I'm not going to say to take partials or anything like that. If it was me, I probably would take the majority of the position off. Okay. This is live price. I wanted to get through the intro and stuff first, but you know, we're here and this is what it looks like. So, you know, if I was still short, I'd probably, if I wasn't out already here, which I would have been because I would have had a limit order here. But if I didn't, that little spot right there where we traded back into the old low, I'd get out there. I would get out and not bitch if it goes lower. Okay, I wouldn't bitch if it went lower because it still could. It's early in the PM session, but just, you know, be mindful. That's all I'm saying. Just don't do anything stupid. Okay. Don't do anything stupid, chat. That's all I'm saying. So, resting liquidity is just, it's liquidity. It's pending orders up here. Buy stops, and anyone who's been short has stops here and stops up here as well. There's no difference. It's just, that's what it is. It's pending orders. It's resting liquidity. Okay. You know, kind of like that Sunday brunch and you've had a couple of margaritas and you just ordered chips and queso and now you're just chilling. You're just resting. It's resting up here. Okay. Maybe that's a good analogy. Maybe it's not. All right. But let me do the intro real quick before we get into it. I'll go over a couple things with you guys today. Which is pretty cool, man. This shit is pretty fucking cool. And then yeah, we'll just go from there. Okay. So who was first? G was first today. Very nice. What's good, Natasha, Naruto, Josh N. Welcome to the SMS community. Nice to have you. One of our newer members. Welcome. Was good, Willow, Eli, Zokjo, Harmon, Felix, Mason, 2020, Amin, Ibran, Zay, Eli, Shay, Big James, George, King Carcel, Smiley, Darth, Quinn, Marshall, Bell, Broadway. You know what's for lunch? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Get your little margarita. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. I wouldn't trade and drink at the same time, so I'd have to log out, you know, but or switch to paper. That's fine, but you know, all the risk management just goes out the window. All the confidence comes in. You know what I mean? After like your third margarita, I'm like, but what we going all in on? You know? Oh, you know, there's an imbalance. Let's take it and just fucking throw the whole house on it. You know, like we don't want to do that. So don't do anything stupid, okay? What's good, Alexandra? Got to make a video on drinking and trading. Make it a series. Nah, I've already got the next series planned out. And you should be, if you've been paying attention to any of my social medias, you know what the next series is going to be. What do you think it is, chat? I've been asking. I asked on my community tab here on YouTube. I asked Twitter or X. I asked Facebook, and I asked my Instagram story yesterday, which most of you said yes. It was only Twitter who was like 70-30. That's why Twitter is just dog shit. That's why all the people over there buy above old highs and short above old lows. And that's why they're getting stopped out. Bro, just go like real shit. Man, I didn't want to get into this today, but just, bro, go on to Twitter right now. You see everybody, oh man, today's not a good day. Oh, this is a sidelines kind of day. Man, these aren't optimal conditions. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck you mean low probability conditions? There was so many 1 to 2s, bro. Right up in here. I think it was ES longs up in here. You're just fucking retarded, you know? So anyway, fuck Twitter. But for everybody else, sure. You know, it was like 90-10, where most of you would want that. I guess I didn't mention that it would be free, but whatever. I'll let Twitter go continue buy above old highs and short above old lows. You know, fuck off. All right? But for everybody else, you guys will get it. You know what I mean? You guys will get it. And Cameron, it's not options. I'm not doing options. Okay? It's not that I couldn't do it, but it would be a lot more sophisticated. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Shit, even a paid one. Even a paid one, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it, bro. It's too much. Too much work. I became a trader to get out of work. You guys want me to go back to work? Like, come on. It's bullshit. All right? It's bullshit. But anyway. I updated our member goal and our subscriber goal. Okay, so we just... Hey, queso. Nice. Member goal, all right, for the memberships on here, which is joining the SMS community, right, is currently 200 is our next target. We're at all-time highs at 188. We've been there for like 3 days, which is great. We had another sign up today, but I don't know if, you know, somebody else canceled, so we don't know if it's in the 190s yet, but we're like 12 away from 200, which is pretty cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then for like my own, you know, personal subscriber goal, we finally got to 8,000. We finally got that. So, but I'm going to bump that up to 10K, and that's going to take a long time. So that way I don't have to update it in forever. But We got to 8K subs. We got to 188 members. Things are mint. Okay, things are very mint. And it is highly appreciated. So drop a like if you guys are ready to learn something today. If you want to learn how to not buy above old highs and short below old lows, and how to not, you know, be retarded. That's what the title of the stream should be. How to not be retarded. Maybe that's what it should have been. I gotta make that a thumbnail. How to get girls? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. So that that is not, you know, I'm the wrong one. Okay, I'm the wrong one. I tell you what, though, if I start showing some of my entries, you better hide your fucking girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? You better lock the front door and lock your fucking windows. She's gonna see those entries, and it ain't gonna go well for you. So, I don't think King Carso. I won't get banned for language. If I ever get banned, it'll be for tinfoil hat shit. It'll be for tinfoil hat kind of shit. And then we'll just go into Discord anyway. Was good, Pips. So yeah. Anyway. Wow. So what I'm watching to see, and we haven't even really checked the other indices, but what I'm trying to see here is if we were going to close above it, this imbalance here, and then maybe treat that as an inversion and go higher. And that is not what it's looking like right now. So we'll watch it, we'll monitor it, or you can monitor it on your own, because what I would rather do is I want to go back over into here and show you some stuff, okay? You guys good with that? Now, since this is a 1 minute time frame and it's going to take me a while to explain this stuff, I'm going to leave this here, but we'll come back to it. Okay, so I'm not saying that that's a long. I'm not saying the long in here. I want to watch it. I think it's a little bit early in the PM session, but we'll just relax and learn some shit. Okay. Okay. You guys good? Yes, Eric, I'm going to go over that. And yeah, Josh, I would agree. Please take a look at gold. Gold looks like dookie shit today. I looked at it earlier. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just don't do it. I don't like it. Gold and silver is like my secondary. If I go into indices and can't find anything, well, then I'll tell myself that I'm an idiot. But if that's how it is, I'll go over into the metals and see if I can find something there. And I can usually find something between the two. And if I can't, that's just go back to bed. Just go back to bed and cry. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Wait. Oh God, that looks fucking horrible. That's not what I wanted. Okay. So we're going to change this to blue just so it looks a little bit better. That way there's not so much pink on the screen. You know? And this right here. Oh man, this right here was absolutely disgusting. Okay? So, what can you see here between the two? What can you see? Was Goodly Bright, Mr. 3M, community funded? What's Gucci? Natasha says divergence. Zakjo says divergence in the left and where resting liquidity is. Slim says bad price action. Hi John, what's good? I don't think today was a little muddy, but overall it was not bad. You will almost always see me go counter Twitter. Anything Twitter says, I'm almost entirely opposite. That's why I'm fucking killing it over here. Because Twitter is ass McGee. And you want to fade everybody over there. Everybody over there you want to fade. I don't even tweet over there anymore. Because you can't even put tweets on charts, so there's no fucking point. Yeah, bros. Look, man, I've been cussing a long time, okay? And you're lucky I don't bring back some jokes. Y'all would, all of you would cancel your subscription. You would all cancel your subscription and be like, yeah, this fucking guy. Yeah, it would not be good. Okay, so when we look at lows, we look at lows together, we look at highs together, and, you know, you go so on and so forth. Like, even down here, lower low, I don't even notice that. Well, technically the low would be this one. I didn't even notice that until I did this in front of you. Okay, lower low, higher low, both markets traded higher. There's a high on ES, high on Nasdaq. That's fine. Nasdaq trades higher. Does ES follow suit? No, it doesn't. ES makes a lower high, while NQ makes a higher high. So what does that mean? What information does that tell you? That tells you that ES is weak, and that tells you that Nasdaq, well, I mean, it would kind of tell you that it's strong, sure, but when you have resting liquidity, okay, lows down here, very clean, lows down here, very clean, just distinctive low, right? This is like a very distinctive low prior to this run. The only other low would be this one, right? So beyond this low here, all you have is the one down here, and then here and here, okay? So if we were to mark up all of them, which I wouldn't necessarily do. It's good to know, but I wouldn't mark up every single one when I'm looking at this kind of shit. What you want to have marked is the same thing I showed in Discord already. That higher high, you want to note that. That higher high here, you want to note that. So, and again, just like I posted in the Discord already, if you want that to be there, okay, and I just made that the other day. So there's your, oh, sorry, here's your 1, 2, 3 formation. That's the wrong shit, sorry. That is what that would be. But you could also include that ES is lower. Okay, so they're not trend lines, they're you know, shit that I'm trying to show you, okay? They're just depictions, they're just graphic saying, hey, ES is lower here, and the Nasdaq just made a third higher high. You good with that? Oh, 70 viewers, look at that. We're going up, baby. You guys are here for them dad jokes, aren't you? You're not here for the trading. You're not here for the trading, are you? You're here for the bullshit. All right. So when we led up to that higher high, this is where things get important, okay? What I did not show you was the inversion model because, frankly, I don't see it. I don't see it. Is there an imbalance here? No. Not really. On the way up? No. The next one is really like right here. So we don't really have an imbalance that was created prior to this run. We don't have it. It's not there. But what do we have? A high just before a higher high, right? We drop lower. Then we trade higher. So what's that formation here? What's that formation? That is the mitigation. Okay. Market trades lower here and does what? What's it do right there at 9:56, which is also important? Oh, fuck, I forgot to get to that. I'll get to that in a minute. Not this, but I'll get back to over here in just a minute. Mitigation, no imbalance on the way up, but we have one on the way down. Okay? You don't always need one on the way up. See that right there? You don't always need one on the way up. But for the mitigation model, which I gave you years ago, that was before everyone, started talking about this unicorn model. Okay? Because I'm always ahead of Twitter. Fuck you guys. Right there. Boom. There it is. There's your imbalance inside the mitigation after a run on liquidity with what? Opposing liquidity here, here, and here. Okay? So now, let's take a look at what actually happened, what actually transpired for the rest of the day. I'm going to come back over here for just a minute. I want to follow up on what we were looking at. Okay, we spent a lot of time here. We finally do make our way above that, but I would not be long in this. I would not do it. I wouldn't do it. Okay? I wouldn't do it. We'll watch it, but I'm not going to long that. Okay, so coming back to what actually happened here. The 1 to 2. Now again, don't get this confused. The inversion model that I gave you specifically was to say, hey, your risk, your reward is twice the risk. That's your target. But the biggest thing is you have to trade in the direction of opposing liquidity. That's the whole purpose of, projecting a price run lower or higher. Okay? So if you take a short at the mitigation and imbalance overlap with a stop at the high, mine wouldn't have been there, but nonetheless, I'm going to keep the teaching the same. Your 1 to 2 is right there, which is a very, very good thing. Why? Because it doesn't even have to run that low for you to get out. It doesn't even have to do that. Okay? So that was a beautiful 1 to 2. So who was that earlier who asked about taking partials? How do I know when to take partials? Well, at a 1 to 2, based on that, like on the inversion model, I would just get out. Bank the 2%, have a good fucking day. Margarita time. Okay? And leave it at that. But say you wanted to aim for down here. Because I know some of you did. I know Libre did. I saw that chart earlier, Libre. I know what you were trying to do. You were trying to swing for the fences. Not down here, but I was just trying to measure that. But I know what you were trying to do. Okay? So, what would have transpired? Well, quite a number of things. This movement here likely would have got most of you out on a break even. Okay? Because why? If you're aiming for down here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm not going to fault you for that. I've done that dozens of times. Well, more than dozens, but I've done that a lot. Okay? If I'm swinging for the fences, I will always, okay? Not sometimes, not most of the time. I will always, 100% of the time, partial at a new low. If I'm short, or if I'm going long, it would be a partial at a new high. Every time, every time. Why would I do that? Why would you do that, John? Why not just hold for the entire move? Because look at the fucking chart, my friend. Look at the chart. Price would have made a new low, and you just said, oh man, that looks good. I'm going to hold for the lows. and then it came all the way back. You would have gotten a break even if you moved your stop, or there's a good chance that you might have got stopped out on the way up, unless your stop was right there and you just left it alone. It wouldn't have got you. But I can tell you now, a lot of the times it would have. And yes, Willow, that's a very good point. Thank you. When the market gives, you want to take. It could have went down to the lows. It could have took that later set of lows. But look at it. What didn't it do? It didn't do either of those. But the market did give you an opportunity. Silver platter. The market said, here you go. Do you want to take it? And you said, I'm good. And the market said, all right, piss off. Took the tray away and went all the way back to your entry or to your stop. One of the two. Or maybe you bumped your stop lower and then you got out in profit, which wouldn't have been as bad as a break even, but it still would have limited your growth significantly. And then you would have been like, oh, what the fuck? This is bullshit. Liquidity doesn't work. This is ass. Well, you know, it's not ass. It's just the way that you look at things is ass. And I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but it's just, bro, I used to have the same views. You guys forget I've been doing this for 10 years. Okay. Every mistake in the book, I've made it like a dozen times. Okay. I've held on trades too long. I've got in early, got in late, you know, took trades with no stop. Every imaginable mistake that you can make, I've made them more than once. Okay. Now I've never blown a futures account. Okay. But other than that, I've made every mistake in the book. So I know the things that you're thinking about. Why not hold all the way? Taking partials, that's fucking stupid. No, I think breaking even on a trade that offered a 1 to 2 RR and not going break even, I think that's fucking stupid. Okay. So there's your rules. If you want to take that. Okay. You don't have to. But that's one of my rules. If I'm swinging for the fences, I'm taking partials at a new low if I'm short, or I'm taking partials at a new high if I'm long. There's no if, ands, or buts. There's nothing. Okay. These could have been identical, equal. I still would have done it. All right. So are we good with that? It's real easy. When do I partial, John? New highs and lows. Okay. That's it. New highs and lows. That's the easiest way to do it. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay. I'm going to check, I'm going to check the S&P here as well. And that same, okay, look at that. That same thing is there. Right here. Right there. Okay. Morning session lows. I mean, equities open lows. And that's what I want to get into next. I want to make sure that's a lesson here too. But by itself, without all that, by itself, one low, two lows, excuse me, both of those during lunch, and then open of the PM session. And the way that I look at it is here, right there. So we created what? An imbalance on the way to that third lower low and hit the whoop-de-whoop at our equities open, liquidity. Traded through it here, back into it. Okay, look at the bodies and the wicks. The bodies are staying within the parameters of what? That inversion. So in the model that I gave you, technically would have been entering on this. You technically would have been right there. Okay. Now the traditional 1 to 2 would look something like that. Would look something like that. Okay. And you have equal highs up here too. Now that might be a little bit too much. You probably could have went for this low here, only because it would have to, you know, really reach beyond that inversion to get there. And so that kind of brings the 1 to 2 to right above those highs. And that I think would have been okay. Into profit, a little bit of drawdown, and then, you know, that's back above that inversion. But Oh, it's only 12:30. Yeah. So again, I would watch that, but this looks like shit to me. Look how much time we've been here. We've been here all day. A whopping 30 minutes, but you get what I'm putting down. You get what I'm putting down. I would be happy working out what my job would be in a percentage and just make that a month. Yeah. Okay. So let me talk about this for a minute too. Now, there's different views on this. Okay? There's different views on this. I'll let you do what you want. But when I talk about equities open liquidity, okay, what I'm referring to is typically the first 30 minutes. Okay? So there it is. 8:30. Oh, that's a hell of a line, isn't it? That's a little bit better. Equities open. I'm Central Time, so that would be 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 9. Okay? So what do I mean when I say equities open liquidity? If you take 8:30 to 9, or if you're in a different time zone, the first 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes of the stock exchange, you're going to have, it's not always going to be this clean. This to me is clean. It's not always going to be this way. But whatever the highest high is and the lowest low in the first 30 minutes. You guys good? Then you got like shit like this bullshit 9 o'clock. But whatever. So I would tell you equities open high, and you can make that a different color if you'd like, or a different thickness if you'd like, just so to differentiate what that would look like. Okay. So we can change the thickness to 2 instead of the thinner one, so it's more distinctive. Okay. Oh, 80 viewers. Look at that. We might get 100 eventually. But anyway, so again, here's our Nasdaq, right? Now look at today, right? Ooh, let's go over to ES for just a second. Ooh, ain't that fucking something? Ain't that fucking something? Look at that. It only has to go 1 point or 4 ticks above these highs to meet that 1 to 2. So that's pretty fucking cool if you ask me. And Nasdaq, dude, it spent a whole lot of time here, and I despise that. I don't like it. I don't get jiggy with it. But so far, it's left that area. Houston, we are good for takeoff. That's pretty cool. So, you know, teaching with live price, right? Anyway, watch this. Watch this. And let me take a few things off of here because we're getting a little bit messy, and we don't want that. We don't want that. We're going to leave that there. Okay. So remember, and you can label this if you want. This is a live stream. I don't want to spend the time typing all this shit out. I want to get through all this stuff. Just remember the thick pink line 20,105 is equities open high. 20,031.25 is equities open low. But what do you notice about that? What do you notice about our equities open lows? So keep that in mind. Okay? So what has price done? Looking at the broader perspective of today. Our opening high is here. Opening low is there. Okay? So what did the market do today? It traded beyond that. Right? And then beyond that here, which I already explained, for those of you that are coming on late. But look where that short is. Remember this? That mitigation, that imbalance is above equities open high. Ooh, you thought Friday's stream was some good shit? Did you study this weekend? Equities open lows, right? What did we hit today? Ooh, look at that pullback. Jesus. Look at that, right? So what is our low of day? Taking out, or it's my trade lower, but our current low of the day is what? Below the equities open here. Okay? So what am I saying? I'm saying that in the first 30 minutes, you have a high, you have a low. Sometimes they'll be equal, sometimes they'll be low resistant, sometimes they'll be high resistant, what have you. But typically, this is what you'll see. These can be targets for liquidity. Sometimes they can be reversals, right? Or like in this case here, right? Some of you were short. And what did I say down in here? I said I would definitely partial or close if it was me. Why is that? Because again, the market's been shortened all during lunch. You have highs up here and highs here and here and here. That's already been met. But I'm saying you got anyone who's short is going to have trailing stops. And you've already met a low of day and this morning's liquidity. Why would you not take partials there? Why would you not do that? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, no shit. But, I mean, come on. Are we retarded? Or are we trying to be smart? We're not trying to be retarded. Okay? Unlike ES, who doesn't take the equal highs and just stops, makes triple highs. That's cool. So, I would still watch this. At this point here, almost 12, it's like 12:39. This would bother me if I was still in an open position. Because we worked it, came back, worked it again, came all the way up. We don't take the highs, and then we came all the way back down to work it again. Like, bro, how many times are we going to work that level? And the more times it does it, the less I trust it. So I wouldn't want to see where we are. I wouldn't want to see it come back into the whatever that is, 66. I wouldn't want to see that. Okay? But do the same thing for ES. Let's take everything off. Do the same shit for ES. Another exercise, which you probably won't do. You just wait for me to post stuff. Same exercise, 8:30, right? And 9 o'clock is here. So this is a little bit janky. I think the highest high is there. I think that's right there. Yep. Lowest low is here. 57.63.5. Okay. So now looking at our overall perspective, what have we done? Equities open liquidity, the high that was met relatively early. That's fine. You don't have to do anything with that here. Okay. That lower high here is what this higher high on Nasdaq was. You see that? That's it, right? That's 953 right there. 953. 953 is here for ES. So that's that weakness here. And then we sell off for these lows. Come all the way back up, just like Nasdaq did. Right? And then what did the majority of lunch do? We ripped ass, retraced, and then ripped ass. This low, and that third lower low that I showed you a few minutes ago, that third lower low is taking out the lowest low within the first 30 minutes. You see that? just like Nasdaq. Low, high in the first 30 minutes. That was all taken this morning. We had a whole lot of shit over here. I know I gotta find better words. As much as I read, you would think. And then that third lower low is taking out the morning's low. So now look at it. Why do you think I pointed that out? Why do you think I pointed that one out specifically? Because that's the imbalance on the way to that run on liquidity. And that's why I said earlier that this would have been your entry. You would have probably taken a lot of drawdown. Once we took off here, okay, right in here in the last 5 minutes, I said I wouldn't want to see us come back to the 66s. I wouldn't want to see that. So this, to me, should trade higher. I'm not in a trade. I'm not telling you to long. But, you know, some people out there are saying, oh, well, fuck. You know, if you're an educator, teach with a real price, right? Which I've done for a very long time. And I did it on Friday with the help of Anas, of course, right? Well, it was his trade, really. I just really looked at it. But remember Friday? I was saying, oh, we should start printing down candles. And then we fucking rocked lower. Beautiful shit. Go watch it. Go watch the last 20 minutes of that stream or the last 30 minutes of that stream. That shit was fun. But now, same thing. I can't justify shorts. Longs look somewhat respectable here. So to me, that's where the probabilities lie. The probabilities lie in higher pricing. They lie in, to me, with higher pricing. Okay? So we'll leave it here for just a minute. But that was a serious question, though. Okay? We got 80-some people on here. But check this out. Did you guys do Friday's exercise over this weekend? Did you draw a vertical line at the high or the low? And did you compare and contrast buy side with the sell side or sell side with the buy side? Did you guys go do that? Some of you did. Some of you post in the Discord. You're like, oh my God, this is fucking nasty. I know it is. So I told you to do it. Literally, that's why I told you to do it. So this, to me, I'm with Twitter on here. Okay, this was a little bit muddy in my opinion. Okay, right around the time until we got to over here, that was nasty. Leaving behind all the lows with higher highs, divergence. That was beautiful. A lot of other stuff was a little bit muddy. I'll give you that. Okay, I will give you that. But some of you learned a few things by going back and looking at sell side price delivery, buy side price delivery, and seeing what can be used on the left over on the right. Oh, nice, Electric. Did you post that in the Discord? Whatever you did on the Euro? You should definitely post that if you didn't. You should definitely post that if you didn't. But ES seems a little bit... Same thing like I said last week. It's a little bit blocky. It's a little bit robotic. And it's not as loose. You know, it's not as like Freebird. You know what I mean? Like NQ is like the Leonard Skinner of the future side. You know? Freebird, yeah. That's like Nasdaq. ES is kind of like more concise and more just very limited in parameters. I don't know how else to explain it. Allison B said, I was in a sell on ES this morning, but when price returned and consolidated, I lost my nerve holding it. So close at a small loss. Helps to hear your explanation. Well, it's hard to tell exactly where your short was at, but so Allison, I just gave everybody some juice. Okay, I just gave you guys what the opening, like the session open liquidity, equities open liquidity is, to me. Again, other people might view it differently. They might say it's the first 15 minutes or the first hour, first 30 minutes. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. But for me, if I had to decide, like, all right, which one is it gonna be? First 30 minutes. Okay. Mark what I just gave you, highest high, lowest low, and then go look at your short. And I want to say there's something else here too. I had a markup over here. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We had Friday, oh no, Sunday evening. Ugh, I always hate that. But whatever, I don't make the rules. Sunday evening had this up here. So sort of a general consolidation. Low resistant highs there at 57.81. And that's what that was from earlier too. So if you were short prior to these highs here, that's probably not good. And then the short afterward, like anywhere in here, probably would have been a little bit muddy. But remember, that was the weakness on NQ. So it does end up making a new low here, which is good for partials. But I really don't know what the entry would have been on any of this. I don't know. Like, what would the entry have been? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. I guess in hindsight, I mean, I wouldn't have got, you probably wouldn't have got filled on this either. But I guess that down candle, or up candle, excuse me. Right? Because weakness with the lower high bodies. Then we trade through. Look at that close at 10:01. Opening of the new hour, by the way. And it reaches back up and into those up candles here. But I can tell you, I would say 90% of the time, when it does that, and it's so precise and it's perfect, there's no perfection in trading. Right, Twitter? Right, Twitter? There's no perfection in trading. Open, 57.76.75. High, 57.76.75. There is no perfection, right? Okay. So stuff like that, even though it is perfect, and Twitter's a bunch of fucking goofballs that tell you nothing is perfect. That is. Okay, go look at your chart. Don't look at mine. Look at your chart and you tell me. Okay? Something like that. If we had orders there, 90% of the time, you're not going to get filled on that. It'll wick your entry, but it won't fill you. In order to get filled there, it usually has to go a tick beyond it. A tick, sometimes 2 ticks beyond that in order to get something within that. So I would say I would have had an order. I wouldn't have got filled. I would have watched it trade below those lows, and I would have said, yeah, this is bullshit. And that would have been the end of that. But let's come back to what we talked about. We should see higher pricing, right? Oh, we're going lower. We're going lower. No. No, we're not fucking going lower, bitch. We're higher. We are higher, my guy. At least for now. This could still wick lower and make me look like an ass, but how many times are we going to hit that 72? Oh, there it is. Bingo. Right up there. Right up there. Let me draw this one more time. I don't know why I keep deleting shit. I don't know why I keep doing that. Where's your 1 to 2? Right there. Didn't we say that earlier? Based on that low, your 1 to 2 would be at 77.3.75, and we just hit that. What did I say after this move right here? At 1237, once we took off a little bit, I said I wouldn't want to see us come back down to the 60s. Did we fucking go back to the 60s? Did we go back to 66, 67? No. We went higher. Get your MLMers out here. Get your flyer boys out here. You tell them to do that shit. I still have all the love in the world for Trade House, but everybody else, come out. Do it. Do it. So, anyway, let me calm down. Josh, you're right. I've heard the first hour. I've heard some people say the first 15 minutes. Others say the first 30 minutes. I don't know. But if you just want to take the entire session, like from 8:30 to lunch, hey, that'll work too. But I've given you yet another exercise. Every day. Matter of fact, I wasn't even going to tell you this. But you could do it. You could go and get a sessions indicator, right? And then what would your session be? The first 30 minutes of equities. Now all you got to do is mark the high and low. Oh yeah, more back testing ideas. More back testing ideas totally for free right here on this YouTube channel. You're welcome. Drop a like if you guys are having fun, man. Drop a like if you're getting some value today. We go over old price. I tell you where new price is going. Come on. This is good shit, is it not? I'm not trying to pump myself up, but this is free. This is a free stream. A free stream, chat. You do not pay for this. Some of you pay to be in the chat. Oh yeah, and that's overpriced. Fucking $25 a month. Fucking, that's a whole lot, isn't it? That's a whole lot. What's right here? What's that, chat? What's that right there? Look down here. Look, you can see that, right? I don't want to tell you look at something if you can't see it. Yeah. Look at it. What does that bottom there say? That bottom there says Monday, 23rd, September 24th, but the time. What's the time right there? What's the time? 12:45. About that time, right? What does that mean? What the fuck is 12:45, John? You're right, Mason. Glad somebody's paying attention. Yes. 12:45 to 1. That's a 15-minute candle. Okay. Now this takes a long time. Oh my God, there's got to be an indicator that does this. I can't do this manually all day. I could, I don't like to though. I only do this for you guys to show you. I don't do this every single day. This would take an absorbent amount of time. And this isn't even lined up all that well either. All right, I'm just gonna do that many. So every single one of those represents a new 15-minute candle. Now, if you want to change the shading of it, that's fine too. Just so it's a little bit differentiated. That's what I meant to do. Okay. So 12, that's a new hour, right? So where is this inversion at? Well, 12 is here, right? Ooh, you didn't think I would not tell you about buying below the open of the hour. You didn't think I'd skip that, did you? Where's that inversion? on the way to this morning's low and the 1, 2, 3 formation. And we dipped into it multiple times, and in that last time too, right? Below the open of the hour, on the way to opposing liquidity. How many 1 to 2s do you need, chat? How many? How many do you need? Right? We saw one on Nasdaq. We saw another one on ES this morning. I'll have to go back and find it. And then this one down here on both Nasdaq and ES. Even though I told you not to trade it, I told you we'd watch it. Okay? But we watched that, right? Okay? Here's the last ego trip for today, okay? This is the last ego trip for today, if you'll allow me, just 30 seconds. Okay? We watched that before it even formed. Well, before it traded through. Because you heard the alert go off. That was on NQ. You heard the alert go off in the intro music. You heard that. You heard that. Then in our first like 10 minutes, I was talking about it. I marked it up. I said, there's an inversion. I want to see if it trades through that, back into it to launch for these and potentially up here. That's why I said this would be a partial or a close. Okay. Where's that at? That's our fucking low of the day right now. You're welcome. You're welcome. You don't have to tip me. You don't have to tip me, but you're welcome. I said if we trade through that, I want to see if we go back into it, to see if we go higher. And then we got all this shit. We actually got one run on liquidity there too. But then guess what? Where are we trading towards? The very highs that I gave you before all that even happened. Go back and watch the first 10 minutes of the stream. So look, chat. Look, chat. Hear me out here. If I can do it, you can do it. You understand? If I can find it, you can find it. And you're right, Bruce. I had to get those lines off there because they're all fucked up. Trust me, I don't like that shit either. But you see it though. Okay? And if you go back to that very minute marker at 12:37, right around 12:39, you hear me talk about it. We haven't taken the highs yet. That the more times we tap into that, the less I like it. So once we left it, I said, I don't want to see us come back to the 66s. We saw a retracement. Then we saw, let me take this off. We saw a retracement. Then we launched. Then what did it trade back into? These two. Those two down candles right before that. Before the move. Here. Okay? Imbalance right there. To go higher. So study that. Okay? I wouldn't even... This is a bit of a stretch to me. I was glancing at it. I didn't say anything. I was glancing at it. I didn't think it was worth mentioning, but if we do, want to look at it, it came back into this mitigation here. Low, high, lower low that ran liquidity, low of day, AM session low, equities open low, into that mitigation, and then we launched. You guys are fucking spoiled. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Spoiled. That's okay. People out there spoil their cats too. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So, look, you learned something new today. And we didn't even go over the weekend exercise. I mean, we could, but, I don't want to be here all day for you. Your attention's going to leave right now because we've been here an hour. But you learned something new today. You learned equities open liquidity. The highest high and the lowest low in the first 30 minutes. That's it. First 30 minutes. Mark it up. Go back test it. No, real shit. Go back test it. Mark up every high and low in the first 30 minutes of every day. Now, if you're on a 1 minute time frame, you can only go back so far. right? Because, and you know, TradingView will be like, oh, I'm out of data. It'll give you that little dinosaur, right? Which is kind of funny. But nonetheless, you can go back and look at it every day. Go put on a sessions indicator so you don't have to do this manually because you're going to be there all day. Okay? You're going to be there all fucking day. Now, this here is a little bit janky. There's your highest high, and your lowest low is actually like right there. So that's a little bit skewed in my opinion. Okay. Let me see. The Friday PM session, what did it run for? Equities open high. Oh shit. Oh wow. Yeah, you're welcome. Christmas came early, chat. It's Christmas every day here. It's Christmas every day on this fucking stream. 8:30 to 9. 8:30. It's got to be right. Highest high. Lowest low. 8:52. Check. All right. What happened on this day here? 3 p.m. is here. Okay. So on this day, after it made its low, rallied, came back, inversion, bullish order flow up to equities open high. Okay. So, I mean, when I'm telling you, I'm not saying every day is going to take the low and then run for the high, or take the low and run for the high. There's other factors. There's the gaps, there's the weekend gaps, there's the daily gaps, there's relative strength, there's, you know, London's high and low. Okay. You can do that exercise too. Mark London's high, London's low. But you don't want to have too much on your chart. But I'm trying to give you a couple more examples before we hop off of here. Okay. Oh, you know what? Days like FOMC, you could study interest rates, any type of level 3 news. You could study if you want, but that might not be the best day for this particular exercise. But you could still do it if you want. Equities open high. Equities open low. Okay, and then let me see. 12:30. Right. So took morning's low, did a whole bunch of jibber jabber. I won't get into the details of everything here, but where did it trade to before? I don't know if that was FOMC or interest rates or what. That was something on, that might have been FOMC on the 18th. But where did it tap into? Equities open high. You see that? So there's things to study. There's things to look out for. There's things to watch. Okay. And I think we reached up one more time before retracing a little bit. And Nasdaq. Oh, that's fucking, ain't that something, chat? 20,850 is what I gave you earlier. And we hit 20,008 at 0.5, but we didn't trade above it. Well, we could probably still do that. We could, but I don't think I'm going to be interested in today's PM session. But nonetheless, you got a lot of stuff today. This is how I approach the charts. Where's the liquidity? We're looking for equal lows, equal highs, low resistant highs, low resistant, whatever. The 4 targets I gave you in the beginner series. Okay. That, let's go back to ES one more time. Sorry. You already know I got to do like 12 last things. Why this inversion? For all the reasons I already gave you, plus what? Is that low resistant lows or high resistant lows? Those are high resistant lows. Are these equal highs or high resistant highs? Those are equal highs. So I told you in the free beginner series that you've already been given. It's already public. It's been out there for, I don't know, probably like a month now. But I told you these are targets. These are stops. And what did our session do today? Our hour, really. We still got 2 hours left in the session, but our time here together, what did we do? We ran from low resistant lows, or excuse me, we ran from high resistant lows up to equal highs. So do you see how that works, chat? You see how that works? This is how I frame trades. This is how I frame ideas. Okay? And the entries, you know, once you know where the market's going, now it's just trying to find the entries and not trying to go break even too fast like some of us do, and just follow the order flow and go from there. Okay? So in closing, you can throw one more alert at 20,080 and a half. And the alert that I have for upside, I don't know if we're going to get there today. We could, but the highest upside objective for today for the PM session would be 20,126.75. Okay. So there's both of those alerts for you if you want to follow along. And that's going to be it. All right. Oh, Eric V. Hey, whatever works, man. Whatever works. Was there something that invalidated it as a setup with your plan? Just curious. So, Tommy, what would invalidate the idea that I told you earlier? And this is why I point out bodies. Okay? Watch this. When we switch over to a line chart that shows the bodies, it shows the closing of every candle. Not the open, high, low, close, like a bar chart or a candle chart. The line chart on its default shows closing price. So when I tell you to look at the bodies, what I'm really telling you is this. And I'm saying, look where the bodies are stopping. They're within or inside of the parameters of the inversion. Does that make sense? So a invalidation would be if we closed outside of the low end of the inversion. Like say this down candle. I don't know if I'll be able to draw it. Not really. If we had a down candle like that, if that makes sense. I don't think it'll let me draw it right on that candle. But if we had a down candle that closed outside of it, that to me would be an invalidation. So you wouldn't even, you could close the trade if you wanted to and just take the small loss versus waiting for it to potentially hit the low, but it never does that. So I threw in some trade management right there at the end for free. Okay, right there. So a little bit more on trade management. Okay. So now we can hop off of here. All right. Y'all be blessed. You got the levels. You got another back testing exercise after I already gave you one on Friday. I'm teaching you with hindsight from the morning and then with foresight in the afternoon. But all right, you guys are literally spoiled, rotten, and that's okay. So there's your target. That's a good way to end the fucking stream. Oh, I told you so. But that's it, man. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. We'll be here same time, same place tomorrow on Tuesday, September 24th for the next live session. Don't do anything stupid until then. All right? I'll see you.